And at 4 p.m. there will be a lightning talk like right next door. So if you want to like give a really short speech or like keynote for around 5 to 7 minutes, you could go to the room next door, which is P4701. The lightning talk session is open for all. So and it will start at 4 p.m. If you want to share a bit or like listen to, I don't know, like random open source or Python stuff, you may proceed to P4701. And there's also a job recruitment board set up right next to the counter outside of this lecture theater. We set up just now, like during the break. So feel free to go and look at it and see if you want to have some job posting, or you want to find a job on the job board. Oh, and also I've been mentioning about the donation, which is you could purchase a T-shirt for $300 or a calendar for $50, 50 as in 50. And there are still some free slots for the lightning talk as I've just updated. So yeah, at 4 p.m. you may proceed to room P4701 to sign up for the lightning talk session. You could share or listen to stuff, I would say. And it's in first come first serve basis. So if you're late, you could only listen but not share. Yeah, the regular seminar stuff. And for latecomers,
would you please sit in the middle, in the center of this room, so that other participants, when they come in, they could just sit on the side. Thank you very much. And yeah, this slot should, this session should start like 5 minutes ago. Sorry for the delay, but then our speaker is like stuck in traffic, so she's like really rushing, but then she can't control the traffic, so we might have to delay for a bit more. Really sorry for the inconvenience. For the meantime, you could set up your personal computers. If you need any assistance or encounter any difficulties, please feel free to find us. Like we are the ones in blue t-shirts.
I'll help us more than grateful to help you. Or you could just raise your hand. I'll just come help. For this session, it is more advisable that if you have brought your own laptop, so that during this hands-on session, you might get to do some work instead of just like listening. Yeah. I'm sorry for the delay once again. For the meantime, we will have Mr. Ho Wa Wong to talk more about Jupyter Notebook, and I think, yeah, it's around like 15-ish minutes. Less than, probably. Like a really, really quick keynote about Jupyter. And just now he has given a session about the open data in Hong Kong, the problems about like the government being not transparent as, yeah, I know. Sorry. Like just now the session is about open data, and now he's telling about like the resources he used, like i.e. Jupyter. So we'll need several seconds for the setup. The projector is warming up. Yeah, it's up. So may we now invite Mr. Ho Wa Wong once again. Mr. Wong, please.
So sorry, it seems that there are some accidents of the today's speaker, so I just talk about Jupyter randomly. So it seems that another speaker had talked about the Jupyter before. It is today white already. Yeah, so let's talk. Yeah. Let's talk about the pandas. Really? Okay. So if you jump into anything already repeated in today's any session, please just talk to me. And yeah, but all of a sudden I kind of let to speak again. So yeah, sorry for the interruption. And so pandas is a very famous Python data processing or data frame library, and then it has two terms which is very basic. The first frame would be data frame, which just like you treat as a 2D array, and then a series would be a group of series, or what group of 1D array would be a data frame. So as you can see from the slide, the red box would be the series, which is just the adjacent close and the series, and then the column would be the name of the different type of values. So for example, the date, the open, the high, and the low, the volume, whatever. And then the left hand side, the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, we call it the index. So in order to load a CSV, it is very simple to load a CSV. For example, if you import the pandas as PD and then use the pandas to read the CSV. And then the head function is to show the first few rows of the data frame. And then you can also count the number of rows by calling the count. And then if you want to filter some values by criteria, for example, the date from the apl.csv, so here you can do that. Like the date criteria, if it is greater than or equal to 1999 and then less than the February 28th. So here is to manipulate a particular column. So you can do some kind of magic work to create another column in the data frame. So for example, the date, suppose the date column is a string. If you want to extract the year from the date column, you can do the left-hand side will be assigned to the year column, and then the right-hand side will be converting a substring into numerical values. So aggregation will be very similar and simple. And so, for example, if you want to calculate the average price per year, first you can group by the data frame by year column, and then do the aggregation. Here we use mean as the operator, and then you can always have the second data frame. So similarly, we can do the sorting by the sort values function, and then you can also assign the orders, whether it's ascending or descending in the second parameter. And also, if you want to reset the index, yeah, by calling the reset index after sorting. So originally we are talking, the original speaker Claire, we're trying to introduce the matplot library into today, but sorry that. And then in my slide, we should talk about the plotty. Oops. Sorry, wait a second. Hey, sorry, the Wi-Fi has some. Sorry, the Wi-Fi has some problem. I need to do it offline. So after you go into the plotty page, you can do the registration setting page, and then you get the username and the API key. And then, to use the library is very simple by simply calling. Okay. By simply putting the API key and the username into the initialization procedure. Thanks for helping out on the Wi-Fi issue. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay, so yeah, finally I got the Wi-Fi, and so sign in. So GitHub. So I just log into web page with my GitHub account. So what are they? And then go to the settings and the API key. So here you will see the API settings. So you have your username here and then your API key. And then you can just regenerate the UID to get the, yeah. So here is the new API key. So after that, you just need to paste your username at here and then API key at here to get the correct credential. So the very first example will be plotting the scatter graph. Here, so let me explain the code a little bit. The first thing would be, the first line would be initializing different color based on the value in from 0 to 360. And then after that, I just put the color into the marker parameter, and the X is the X array, Y is the Y array. So XY basically your data. So after that, I just call py.iplot trace, and then I will got the scatter graph. Find the previous notebook. So I think I can do some simple coding from scratch here. So okay, here goes nothing. Oh, so I did not install the. Okay. So I just installed the plotting library. Okay, here we go. So we wait for a few minutes. I need to install the library first. Yeah. If you are early succeed, oh my god, so my account cannot plot any graph. Even the code is correct because I have been doing these demonstrations for quite a few times this month. So even I can code right now, I cannot display it because the limit is to display 25 graph. I can override or exist. Okay, no problem. Yes. Okay. So I need to thank you for the for both your patience and the system how they handle new account. So I can get the new API key and then I can plot some graph now. Yeah. So it's very simple to understand. So it looks like a line, but I think I should have some random number. But anyway, the xy will be identical identical value. So that's why you see a straight line. And then as you can see that each point has different color because I've generated different color based on each point. So indeed, I should have made the code a little bit simpler like this. Then it will be more easy to understand the code. Yeah, basically the same frame as the second I showed you. So as you can see that X and Y, and then for each point has different color. So this is how we plot the scatter, though the scatter looks exactly the same as a line. But yeah. So the bar chart will be very simple. How simple? So let me change the scatter to bar. And then you can get a bar chart. Oh, the tree map is a little bit complicated, but here I can introduce you a function called squarify. So the squarify is to put different to put a list or a wave of integers into a different kind of big and small squares, so that you can imagine, for example, you have a budget plan and then different budget or different items at different costs. For example, the open procurement in government. So for example, if you buy 5 computers in 1 million, and then you may buy 10 iPhone 10 with $10,000. So that kind of values can be represented into bigger and smaller rectangles. So the first function call will be the normalizer size, which means that we have to put the rectangles in, put the values, turn the single array value into the rectangles, and then after that we just squarify the values. So as you can see that we're just trying to turn the single 1D array into a 2D array. So another 1D array of different squares. So as you can see that the dx dy will be representing the width and then the height of a particular rectangle, and then xy representing the smaller rectangle in the xy of the smaller rectangles. So we'll be looking like this. So you can represent a budget plan into according to the size of the cost into bigger rectangle. The more expensive it become bigger, and the less expensive it becomes smaller. Okay. So here we talk about very simple machine learning, though I'm not really an expertise in machine learning, but you know, sometimes people will be lazy, but they're kind of asked to do machine learning, and here I would tell you how do we do machine learning in a very lazy way. So again, we are going to do this this is the Apple stock historical value, and then the first attempt would be a very simple linear regression. So even though we all know that linear regression cannot really predict the stock value much, but anyway, just a demonstration. So here we use a very, very famous library called scikit-learning. So, and then we all know that the simple linear regression, we do very simple things to interpolate and then to minimize the mean square error. So as to keep a single straight line with the sum of squared error to be minimized. And then of course it's very simple. It's just really to first apply the training data to the model and then call the regression to do some fitting and predict the data with the another input value. So as you can see that in the previous slide, yeah, I just mentioned that it's just inaccurate to do the linear regression to predict certain kind of stock value. But if you are some dummy guys like me, I know nothing about machine learning, but still I need to do my homework and then do some reasonable forecasting. Then what should I do? Then you may try to use the Facebook library recorder, perhaps. So as everyone can see, the forecasting itself is really hard problem, such that the fluctuated input, and then you also have the seasonal factor, and then you also have other competitor issue with, for example, if you're going to predict your own stock. However, it is really affected by your competitor price. So for example, if your cookies is at $5, and suddenly the other company do the markdown and then they sell their cookies in the $3, then you will probably be affected. And similarly, what I try to talk about the seasonal factor will be, for example, if you're trying to sell the closes, those big closes in the winter, then you will get a sales boost, right? Because everyone got cold and then need to buy more closes. However, if you do the sales in summer, then you will find that no one going to buy it because they will buy the swimsuits instead. So that's we talk about the seasonal, and then also we also have the holiday and the Chinese Lunar New Year, things like that. So luckily we have a Facebook library, so provide reasonable forecast. Even I know nothing about forecasting. So and then the code is very simple. Just calling the object, and then you just need to feed the data. And then you also need to tell how much days after you need to predict. So you will see that the orange line is the linear regression we just done, which is doesn't make sense. And then the trainer data is a blue line, which is identical to the red line, because red line is the actual data. And then the green line, the green dots, you can see that even though it's not 100% accurate, but still you can see that it is very close to the actual value. So yeah, if you want to produce reasonable forecast in a very quick time, like within 10 hours of code, then you may consider this library. Okay, so yeah. So you have any question, or you want me to listen to another random topic today?
And are there any questions from the floor? No? Well, we're really sorry about like the original speaker, Miss Claire Jones. She's still in traffic. Like she's still stuck in the traffic, so yeah, we kind of need to postpone it a bit more. Feel free to go outside, like the job board. There would be, you could, there's already some job postings. You could find a job, or you could post a job on it. And there's also a like keynote session, a lightning talk, like keynotes for like.
Can I have 1 minute if you want to find a job? So actually, by the way. So by the way, if you, I'm not sure if I'm appropriate to do some very short advertisement. So I don't want to wound up the developer talk by job advertisement, but I only talk in with 30 seconds. So right now my company called our Sky and doing a backend as a service solution. It is open source, called the Sky Gear in Go, Java, Python, and Node.js. So if you are interested, copy the link and then go to our sky.com and apply for the job. That's all. Yes. Sorry.
Starting from 4 p.m., there will be a lightning talk, like lightning session, for some 5 to 7 minutes, really short keynotes, which will be shared by any one of you if you would like to sign up, which will be held in P4704. And by the meantime, the other 2 rooms are still actually occupied and the talk is still running. So if you may wish, you could still stay here for a bit. Once again, we are really sorry about this accident, about our speaker stuck in traffic and couldn't come on time.
但係 offline 好處係即係咁話，但係如果你驚嘅話，或者你熟嘅話，你咪用翻 offline 嘅。即係我個人都好想用 online 嘅。係啊 ，OK 嘅，其實 online 如果又夠快嘅話，其實幾少錢用嘅。有幾種嘅，第一種就係用今日嘅，咁第二種就係 Poly 啦，用咗大家。咁第三種就係 GC Poly。你認得㗎嘛？我希望我認得。咁你拎住呢個出嚟？理解錯咧，其實都係 offline。咁佢就會喺嗰個 Python 得 iPython 得 iPython 其實佢或者 Jupyter 其實佢只係將你啱啱對上嗰行嘅嘢 output 咗落去。係啊，咁所以唔使個 library support， 即係因為佢原本個 library 佢照佢以前因為我好少做呢啲。咁以前嗰啲 library 通常 output 係一個 SVG file 或者 zip file。其實佢依個應該自己 Jupyter 做咗啲數據。如果你 custom 啲嘢咧，我記得佢要 register 呢隻嘅，你就要做 call 多一行嚟令到 Jupyter